Zuri has been pregnant for 3 years, and the baby still kicks. No one in the village could explain why. Zuri was the kind of woman whose laughter could brighten a cloudy day. Her husband loved her more than he loved his farm. Her husband's yam barn was the pride of the village. When Zuri first took in, the entire village rejoiced. The old women danced in the compound, pounding pestles against mortars in celebration. Zuri is with child, they sang. Gifts came from all corners of the village: palm oil, yam tubers, wrappers, even a small goat from her mother-in-law. At first, her pregnancy was like any other. She had her cravings, her morning sickness, her lazy afternoons when she'd sit under the mango tree and hum to her unborn child. She counted the moons carefully: 1, 2, 3, until 9 moons passed. And then nothing happened. The baby did not come. Her stomach was still round and full, but her body refused to go into labor. At first, everyone told her not to worry. Some babies come late, the old women said. Your child is just taking his time. But when 12 moons passed, the song stopped. The laughter faded. People began to whisper. By the 2nd year, Zuri had become weaker. Her back ached constantly. Her legs swelled. She could barely fetch water from the stream, though sometimes she forced herself just to prove she could. Children ran around her beautiful hut, shouting and laughing, while she sat outside, holding her stomach, watching them play. Sometimes she smiled, other times tears filled her eyes. When other women carried their babies, she carried her burden. Sometimes the baby would not kick for days, her heart would pound with fear. Then, suddenly, she'd feel a small movement inside, reminding her that he was still there, still alive, still waiting. Her husband never left her side. He took her to the village midwife, who placed her wrinkled hands on Zuri's belly and frowned deeply. This child is different, she whispered. You must go to the hospital in the next town. But Zuri shook her head. The gods gave me this child. The gods will bring him out when it's time. Her faith never broke, even when her strength began to fade. One evening, the village chief sent for her. The elders had grown restless about her strange condition. Her husband helped her walk slowly to the village square, where the chief priest of the village awaited them, a tall, dark man with a necklace of cowries and eyes like burning coals. He looked at her for a long moment before saying, The child in your womb is no ordinary child. He is a blessing from the gods. A spirit has chosen your womb as his resting place. Do not fear. The time will come. The chief priest sprinkled white chalk on her forehead and blessed her. From that day, the villagers stopped mocking her. They started calling her Mother of the Waiting Child. Some people even came secretly at night to touch her feet, hoping to receive blessings for fertility. Still, 3 years passed. Every healer in the nearby villages had touched her stomach. None could explain the mystery. Then, one morning, before the sun rose, Zuri woke up to a sharp pain, a deep, tearing pain that made her scream so loudly the birds scattered from the trees. My husband, she cried. Her husband jumped from bed. He saw the fear in her eyes and ran barefoot into the village to call the midwives. By the time they returned, Zuri was drenched in sweat, screaming, clutching her belly. It's happening, shouted the midwives. The child is ready. The air grew thick. Thunder rumbled, though the sky was clear. The villagers gathered outside her hut as her screams echoed across the farmland. Then, suddenly, silence. Moments later, the cry of a baby pierced the air strong and loud. Zuri had given birth to a boy. People murmured, crossing themselves. 3 years. It took 3 years. Old women said it was the longest pregnancy ever heard of. Zuri held the baby with trembling hands. The boy's skin glowed faintly, his eyes wide open even at birth. Zuri wept with relief, whispering, Welcome, my child. You kept your promise. The boy was named Nuru, spiritually gifted. Answer. From his first month, it was clear he was not like other children. When he cried, birds would fly to the rooftop as if drawn to his voice. When he smiled, even the saddest people felt peace. By the age of 3, Nuru spoke in full sentences, sometimes saying things no one could explain. Once, while sitting on his father's farm, he pointed to a patch of dry ground and said, "Papa, don't plant there. The earth is sleeping." His father laughed, but when he planted anyway, the yams never grew. People began to believe Nuru could speak to the gods. One afternoon, a young woman from the next village brought her sick baby to Zuri's compound. The child had not eaten in days. The mother was weeping, begging for help. Little Nuru stood before them, walked close to the sick child, and gently touched his hand. "Don't cry, Mama. The child will eat again," he said softly. That evening, the woman's baby began to feed. From that day, people began to travel from distant villages to see him. Some brought gifts, palm wine, goats, even kola nuts, just to have Nuru touch their children or bless their crops. But Zuri and Obinna feared the attention. "This boy is still a child," his father said. "He needs to live like one." But fate had already chosen him. When Nuru turned 7, the chief priest returned to their home. He knelt before the boy and said, "You are the child I saw in my dreams. The gods have sent you as a messenger to heal and to guide." That night, Nuru had a vision. He saw a woman crying by the river, barren and hopeless. He woke his mother and told her where to find the woman. When Zuri went to the river the next morning, she found the woman exactly as Nuru had described, and that woman later conceived. The story spread. They called him the Spirit Son. Years passed. Nuru grew into a young man, calm, wise, and gentle. He never left the village, though chiefs and kings from faraway towns sent for him. Whenever he prayed for the sick, they healed. Whenever he blessed a barren woman, she conceived. Crops flourished wherever he walked. On the day, Nuru gathered the villagers and said, "My time here is ending, but do not cry, I will never leave you." That night, he went to sleep and never woke up. When they buried him under the old udala tree, a white dove circled above the grave 3 times and vanished into the clouds. Since that day, no woman in the village has ever gone barren. And every child born in that village is said to carry a spark of Nuru's light, the spirit of the boy who slept 3 years in his mother's womb.